Hi, I'm Tim Bennett, a lifelong member here at Mount Vernon United Methodist Church. My family came here in the mid-1950s, around 1954. My grandmother joined first, and they all came over from Louisiana, one by one, and each member of her family joined. Her sons, her daughters, they joined. Specifically, my mom, Omega Bennett, and then of course her sister Emma, they've joined here at Mount Vernon. And then her sons, they joined before they left to go to the service. And so it was a family affair. We didn't stay very far. We lived right there in 5th Ward, right on the edge of Frenchtown on Cactus Street. And it wasn't, back then, seemingly a very far walk. We would walk to church a few times, and then of course eventually got transportation, then we were able to drive to church. So it was a really, really good upbringing here at Mount Vernon. I remember coming often to youth meetings here at Mount Vernon because it was just a place to be. You didn't even mind coming because you'd have such a good time. We had such great leaders here, youth leaders here at Mount Vernon, so we enjoyed our time. I remember coming to Sunday school. One of my Sunday school teachers was Mrs. Betty Myers. She was one of my Sunday school teachers. I love Mrs. Myers. And she stayed with us a long time. She was here until her death. But we had a wonderful, wonderful time here at Mount Vernon growing up. I remember many occasions where we had parties, for birthday parties, and one thing and then another for the members here at Mount Vernon. It was just a great place to be. You didn't even, like I say, you didn't mind coming to church. It was just a wonderful place to come. And then so I remember, of course, the history of Mount Vernon. We had, it started in 1865 with Reverend Toby, the Arbor Church under the bridge. And that was a little brush arbor church right there on Vine Street. A wonderful story. You should read our history. But just to give you a little update, a little recap, Reverend Toby was a slave, and he bought the property that he eventually owned from his master, Mr. Gregg. And Mr. Gregg sold him that 1 acre for $5 on Vine Street. And then Reverend Toby gathered all his friends and his family, and that was the beginning of the church. It was called Uncle Toby's Church. And so, of course, over the years, Mount Vernon has had 8 different name changes, technically 8 different name changes. And so we eventually, obviously, settled on Mount Vernon United Methodist Church after we joined, after we united, we joined in 1968. And so it was just, again, still a wonderful place to be. The church was full. It was just full of people and so much activity and so much to do and people to talk to and things to just, wrap your mind around and just be part of this wonderful church. And so really nothing has changed. We've continued on, even though we've dwindled in membership just a little bit, but we can feel it coming back. We have a lot of energy going right now. We have a new pastor. We had 50 pastors in the past membership of this church. And then, of course, over time, we have now, we're embarking on our 51st pastor with Reverend Herb Addison. So there's a lot of excitement, a lot of things going on, and we just want you to come and see us. Come and see us and sit and talk and let us love on you, because Mount Vernon is a church full of love. So I thank you for your time and energy and listening to me. And there's, of course, much more to say, but I have a time limit, so I could just go on and on and on. But we just want you to come and visit us here at Mount Vernon and let us show you some love.